To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. To Kill a Mockingbird is a novel by the American author Harper Lee. It was published in 1960, was instantly successful, won the Pulitzer Prize in 1961, and has become a modern-day classic. It has since sold more than 40.2 million copies, has never been out of print either for hardback nor for paperback, and has been translated into more than 40 languages. In the United States, To Kill a Mockingbird is widely read in middle schools and high schools. The plot and characters are loosely based on Harper Lee's observation of her family, neighbors, and events that occurred in and near her hometown of Monroeville, Alabama, during a 2-year period in the 1930s. Despite dealing with serious issues of rape, class, and racial problems, the novel is renowned for its warmth and humor. Atticus Finch, the narrator's father, has served as a moral hero for many readers and as a model of integrity for lawyers. As a Southern Gothic novel, the primary themes of To Kill a Mockingbird involve racial injustice and the destruction of innocence. Lee also addresses the issues of class, courage, compassion, and gender roles in the Deep South. It is widely taught in schools in the United States with lessons that emphasize tolerance and decry prejudice. Despite its themes, To Kill a Mockingbird has been subject to campaigns for removal from public classrooms, often challenged for its use of racial slurs. In 2006, British librarians ranked the book ahead of the Bible as one every adult should read before they die. Reactions to the novel varied widely upon publication. Despite the number of copies sold and its widespread use in education, literary analysis of it is sparse, probably because it has sold so many copies and has continued to be popular for over 60 years. It was adapted into an Academy Award-winning film in 1962. Since 1990, a play based on the novel has been performed annually in Harper Lee's hometown. My experiences with To Kill a Mockingbird. I first read To Kill a Mockingbird in 1961. A fellow English major gave it to me to read. We were students at Troy University and both from the southern part of Alabama. In 1963, at age 21, I taught a third-level reading class of 6th and 7th graders in Franklin, Georgia. They could read, but were not readers. In the school library, I found a series of classics rewritten for young readers. For the first 15 minutes of each period, I did a combination of reading and telling of such books as The Count of Monte Cristo, Kidnapped, Treasure Island, Little Women, Joe's Boys, Tom Sawyer, Swiss Family Robinson, and Robinson Crusoe. When I had finished with the rewritten classics, I moved on to, among others, Heidi, Little House in the Big Woods, Farmer Boy, and To Kill a Mockingbird. After a while, some of the students started checking out the books I was reading, telling, to read for themselves. At the end of the year, when I asked for their favorite, the majority replied, To Kill a Mockingbird. 2 years later, I taught To Kill a Mockingbird to 11th graders who were old enough to grasp the complex themes in the book. Over the course of my teaching career, I taught the book many more times. I think it is better taught in high school as opposed to middle school. There was never any objections to the book from any of my students, parents, or school boards. I taught the book for its themes, but also for its literary value. The two plot lines strengthen and reinforce each other and are woven together seamlessly. The richness of character development and the use of a child as the narrator, who is telling the story after she is an adult, make a complex book seem simple. While the book is rooted in a specific time and place, its themes take it to a universal level. After all, it has been translated into more than 40 languages. The last time I led a discussion about To Kill a Mockingbird was in a book club. We chose it as a modern classic, and I wound up being the leader of the discussion of the book. Most of the members had read the book earlier, but came away with a deeper appreciation of it after our analysis. And those who had not read it earlier wondered why in the world they had not. I have had conversations about To Kill a Mockingbird with a variety of people from other countries: Canada, Germany, Japan, Australia, Brazil, and the Brazilian was the head of the American Library in Rio. Hungary, with a young teacher from England who was teaching English in a Hungarian high school. Russia, again an English teacher from Russia. New Zealand. The first American book they will usually mention as having read is Gone with the Wind. Very often, the second one is To Kill a Mockingbird. When they find that I grew up 80 miles from Monroeville, Alabama, they often have questions about many points in the book. I answer them, they smile, say, "Ah, now I see." Challenged and banned. To Kill a Mockingbird is one of the most frequently challenged books in U.S. public schools. In 2018, a school board's decision to remove To Kill a Mockingbird from the 8th grade curriculum in Biloxi, Mississippi, continued a long history of attempts to ban the novel. Since its publication in 1960, the novel, about a white lawyer's defense of a black man against a false rape charge by a white woman, has become one of the most frequently challenged books in the U.S. Challenges to the book have usually cited the book's strong language, discussions of sexuality, rape, and the use of the N-word. The Biloxi challenge to it is among the vaguest. The Biloxi School Board just says, "It makes people uncomfortable." In my opinion, the whole point of teaching and reading classics is they challenge the ways we think about things, and they should make us feel uncomfortable. One of the earliest and most prominent challenges was in Hanover County, Virginia in 1966. The school board cited the book's theme of rape and charged that the novel was immoral. The board rescinded its decision after residents complained about it in letters to local newspapers. Lee herself wrote a letter to the editor of the Richmond News Leader, which began, "Recently I have received echoes down this way of the Hanover County School Board's activities, and what I've heard makes me wonder if any of the members can read." From the 1960s until the 2020s, school boards and parents have continued to challenge the book for its filthy or trashy content and racial slurs. Over time, attempts to ban the book shifted from removing it from school libraries, as was the case in Hanover, to removing the book from school curriculums, as is the case with Biloxi, where the city will continue to keep the book in its school libraries. In 2021, the Burbank, California Unified School District Superintendent issued a statement removing To Kill a Mockingbird, along with The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, The K of Mice and Men, and Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, from the district's required reading list for its English curriculum. To Kill a Mockingbird will be allowed in classroom libraries, but no student can be required to read it. Free speech groups are constantly fighting the banning of To Kill a Mockingbird. A book that has been able to stir up this much controversy for 60 years demands to be read and discussed.